the court did. He's not interested in the fact that American citizens were spied on and their names were unmasked. He doesn't ask for any witnesses related to that. None whatsoever. I will tell you this, Mr. Schiff, you're a leaker.
Let me
You
ask
sit
you
on the
this.
Senate, the House Intelligence Committee, and because you're on that committee, it ought to be called the House Stupid Committee. You are the ranking Democrat on that committee, and you say you didn't leak. I have a challenge for you, Mr. Schiff. Why don't you take a lie detector test?
No shit.
Why don't you take a lie detector test so the American people can be sure that you, all over TV, ubiquitous, you might as well be on airport radar and sonograms. You're everywhere, sir. And you tell us you don't leak? Okay, take a lie detector test, because I believe you do. Comey leaked, FBI director. Deputy FBI Director McCabe, leaker. James Clapper, according to a new book, National Intelligence Director, leaker. According to their own texts, Mr. Stroke, head of counterintelligence, leaker. His girlfriend Paige, leaker. This has been a sham from day one. Why the hell would the Russians want Donald Trump as president of the United States? You think they like him now? When under Hillary Clinton and John Kerry and under Barack Obama, they got Crimea, they got part of the Ukraine, they got a big chunk of Syria, they got 20% of our uranium. Why the hell would Vladimir Putin want Donald Trump as president of the United States when he promised to beef up the United States military and do all the things necessary to secure this nation?
Exactly. And that's been part of this all along, is Democrats keep screaming about Russia on Trump when it was their team that was doing it all along. And hey, oh, by the way, this is Amazon Jude coming to you from Casper. And today's date is 3/14/2018. And I had a little fun with the kitties today. I put a little hat on them, like that for St. Patty's Day. It was a good day. Trump did some good stuff today. He spoke with Boeing, and they're going to put in, they're opening up another factory for another 1,000 people, $300 million. There was 2 races. Pennsylvania, it looks like what's-his-face lost up there. But in Tennessee, Democrats lost, so it's 1-1. So media is not telling you about the other one. They didn't have this big coup like or this big win today like they thought, because one lost one in Tennessee. So you got one on the Democrat side, one on the Republican side. And the only reason the Democrat won up in Pennsylvania is because he's a military man. And I listened to one of the women that were going to vote for him, and I thought, you are a stupid woman. Heavy set gal, probably never studied a day in politics, spends all of her day behind a counter in a bakery or something somewhere. So she has no clue what's going on in America. Anyway, so that was a big win today. Another one, here, let me find some of my big tweets today that was really good. Let's go back home here and see what else was up. Oh, Clock Boy lost his case in court today, which is good. He builds an alarm. He uses a clock. You remember the story. It was a joke. Well, I guess he thought he was going to sue and make some money, and that blew up in his face. Chris Cuomo out of New York lays down with the kids. Okay, 16-year-olds are supposed to be deciding our gun laws, and of course Democrats are taking full advantage of it. These schools that are walking out with the kids are walking out of school in support of gun control. They can't decide what shoes to wear in the morning, and these guys think that we're going to let a 14 and a 15 and 16-year-old decide our gun laws. You know who the problem is? Teachers. These liberal-ass teachers have ruined this generation of kids. The snowflakes are falling apart, and the snowflakes were the college kids. Well, it goes all the way down to about 8th grade right now. And we need to bust up these teachers' unions so that we can fire these liberal-ass teachers that should be teaching the basic R's. Reading, writing, arithmetic, and cursive writing. And what they're teaching our kids I don't want mine to know. I mean, safe spaces. Everyone deserves a trophy. That's just fuck. These guys are fucking insane, and they're bitching about the NRA. Well, you know what? The NRA doesn't give the kind of money that the teachers' unions extort from teachers to give to the Democrat Party, and that's the cold hard facts. Teachers' unions are just Democrats' slush fund, and there's a court case in Supreme Court right now over this very fact, and this is going to be a monumental case if teachers have to be forced to give dues that are paid to the DNC. And that's going to really change things if the judges do this the right way. You should not be extorted because you're in a union and forced to give money to a political party if you choose not to. So that's something to be really, really watchful of. And we've got another one that's pretty important that's going to come down, and that's the travel ban. We need to make sure that when this is all said and done, that we really, really, really tighten up our travel ban. And we put a stop to this refugee program too. Looks like there's a lot of people, and you know they make an average of about $10,000 a head bringing in these heathens that can't, most of them can't read and write, and 88% will never hold a job in their life. They'll just live off the system. And of course, at the kids that they've got doing the walkout today, you've got all your liberal nut Democrats, Al Green, Gutierrez, Chuck Schumer, Nancy Pelosi, Elizabeth Warren. Oh, she did a good one this morning on the floor in the Senate. She complained about big oil and big gas, that she made the insinuation that wind and solar would keep the country running. Well, you know, in her state, they rely over 50% on gas. And I'd like her to take a windmill and pack it up her ass. Because all we'd have to do is cut off their gas for 30 days in the winter, and Massachusetts would fold up like a cheap suit. Bernie Sanders went to town on the floor today too, trying to push some bullshit bill of charging banks more money and getting rid of or trying to keep in place the Dodd-Frank. Well, that took a beating today. It passed. Dodd-Frank is rolled back, so banks are going to get a little more freer with their money and a little more particular about who they loan their money to. Why would you loan money to people who can't pay it back? And that's on the consumer. If you're stupid enough to sign a contract for 25% on a loan, then you deserve whatever happens to you if you can't read the contract. It's called take care of your credit, and that's on you. That's not on the government. So they finally called the Pennsylvania special election, and let's see what that had to say. Well, we know the pretty boy won. I mean, Romney and Moot was flying all over the country looking at voting precincts. And the thing about this one is it's only, I think, 8 months for that seat, and then it has to go back up for re-election. So this this fellow that won, he's got 8 months to show his colors in the House, and it's going to be pretty hard for him not to vote along lines with Nancy Pelosi and Chuck Schumer, because they'll browbeat that boy right into place. Because what they'll do is they'll take the money away from him for re-election if he doesn't. Connor Lamb, Trump called him Lamb the Sham, and it's probably true. He claims that he won't vote with party line. He'll vote for the right thing to do. Well, a 33-year-old snot-nosed kid trying to move up is not going to fight the party. You can't fight the Democrats. They work in lockstep, and this fucker's going to learn the hard way. Anyway, so Sessions and the Attorney General from the Department of Justice, which is not Jeff Sessions, which is even, you know, the big guy, pretty even with him, but kind of the overseer, wants to fire McCabe long before he gets his pension. I say do it. Crime shouldn't pay. McCabe is a dirty cop, and I don't care if he's got 30 years at the Bureau. He's a dirty cop, and he doesn't deserve his pension. I mean, neither did Lois Lerner. She should have been for the targeting and tea parties. She should have lost her pension too. And if we turn around and do this and pull his pension, that's going to send a message through the FBI and the CIA and the DOJ and all of those departments that you get out there and you get corrupt, you're risking your pension, at least, if not jail. And I think that would be a great way to go. And if Jeff doesn't do it, he's got no balls at all. Trump, to me, finally came into his own when he was down there looking at the border wall. He was commanding. He looked at it. He's a builder. And I think he saw kind of what he wants. So I'm sure he'll come up with the right thing and make sure that it's built the way he wants it. And he told him, unless I get all the funding, I'm not building shit. And I don't blame him. I mean, this, what was it, somebody, or was it Rand Paul or somebody, one of the guys, I don't think it was Rand, but one of the guys offered him $7.8 million to start his wall. Fuck, that wouldn't build a mile of it. He wants all funding, all the funding. And if Congress don't give him all the funding, you know, there's 33 Democrat seats in Congress up for bids. We need to run and take those goddamn seats from these motherfuckers. They're nuts. We know they're nuts. Just watch them on TV. They blatantly lie to your face. And there's 200 rep seats up too. People, get out there and run against them. Just because it's a Democrat district doesn't mean you can't run. Run. I mean, run as a Democrat. And then when you get in there, do the right thing. I don't care if it's a D or an R. Just run. And do the right thing. You'll get reelected if you do the right thing. I had to get a little giggle today. Hillary Clinton's over there in India running us white women down because we have to vote the way our husbands tell us to vote. Yeah, right. Stupid bitch. Excuse number 999. Well, she was walking around in India and fell down the steps. She deserves it. You know, and one of these talking head pundits on television today was going, Hillary's got really deep ties to faith. Yeah, to fucking Satan, bitch. All she cares about is money and power. You realize she killed over 40 people to keep her ass in power? Yeah, face my ass. And then, let's see, Tucker owns a lot of them tonight on Hannity. And anyway, Maxine Waters is still nuts. We know that. Loser Lou. Oh yeah, out there in California. Well, Trump did go to California, and it wasn't a big old huge picket against him. It was, you know, maybe 50 people. Big deal. But he spoke with the business leaders today. You got to watch that video. It was really, really good. Let's see. Go to some of my memes for the day. Oh, Seth Rich's family. If you can believe this, they're suing Fox because Fox had talked to WikiLeaks, Julian Assange, and Julian Assange had assured Sean that it wasn't the Russians that hacked the DNC server. And he didn't say it was Seth, but a lot of people are saying it's Seth. I kind of believe it was Seth too, because he was kind of a Bernie supporter. And I think he saw that there was some real shenanigans going against Sanders. Not that I like Sanders at all, but he still didn't deserve to have the election stolen from him by Hillary. And anyway, so now they're suing Fox. So they're using their son's death now as a cash cow. Shame on you. You guys are fucking pathetic. You lose your son, and now you want money for it. I hope the judge throws your shit out the door, and I hope you lose your house over it. Tillerson got canned from Secretary of State. He hadn't been doing a whole hell of a lot. I mean, he was against Trump on the Korea deal, on the Iran deal. You know, just personality clashes, I think, more than anything. And then calling him a moron last year probably didn't help much. They're still threatening Manafort now with 305 years in prison. I tell Mueller, put up or shut up. You're not going to threaten me, you fucker. Joy Bear puts her foot in the mouth, does a fake apology for Pence saying that he talked to God. What a pathetic bitch. Why do they keep her on that show? Her and Whoopi both are useless, old worn out dykes. Probably because it's the only thing that's on at 8 or 9 o'clock in the morning, besides watching Gomer Pyle or something. Media's jumping all over Ben for wanting to spend $31,000 on some furniture. I can remember when the VA spent $1.2 million on a fucking statue outside the VA hospital while there was dead vets in the shower for days. So I don't want to hear it from the Democrats over $31,000 worth of furniture. What's he supposed to do, go to fucking Walmart? Rand Paul, I'm a little pissed off with him today too. He's going to vote against Pompeo being Secretary of State. And Hackle moving up after 30 years in the Bureau. She was an expert on torture and prison keeping bad guys in prison. Rand Paul needs to get off his high horse. You know, he's always acting like he's better than now. And those in glass houses shouldn't throw stones. But I'll tell you what, Paul has been an obstructionist. And, you know, he's a constitutionalist, and I am too. And I'm also, you know, part Republican. I guess you'd call me an independent, because I don't lean any one direction. If the man is good for the job, he's good for the job. I don't care if he's got an R behind his name or a C or a D. But Rand Paul needs to get off his high horse and do the right thing and quit being such an obstructionist little prick. He just drives me nuts. Mueller ends up losing another one of his great witnesses. Ricardo Chavez and George Nader, the one that he thinks is going to be the one to put the nail in the Trump coffin. Turns out he's the best friend of old Billy Bob Clinton's, and they're got a picture out there of him and Billy Bob and a bunch of his little buddies all in this nice Tahitian lake. Looks like it's somewhere around perhaps Lolita Island. You remember that. Oh, excuse me. I've been sick the last 9 days. Of course, you guys all know I have cancer, right? And that's what I'm battling at home. But I don't stop being political, and I don't stop being a Trump supporter or an American patriot. And that's what I am. And every day I work hard on exposing the liars in our corrupt mainstream media and in the Democrat Party, and exposing the fake rhinos. I do want to give a shout out to some of our wonderful guys. And that's Louis Gohmert, Chuck Grassley, Jim Jordan, Devin Nunes, John Corrin, James Langford, Bozeman, Shelley Caputo, Senator Ton Young, Mike Crapo. He rolled back the Dodd-Frank today. Congratulations, Mike. Good job. We have to be sure to stroke our good Republicans too once in a while, guys. They take a hell of a bashing from these Democrats all the time. Yeah, because they always play nice, you know. They always play nice. Well, you can't play nice with fucking crooks and thieves and liars. You got to hit them as hard as they hit you. Take it from Trump. He knows. Juan Williams, Fox contributor on the 5, with Gutman and them. This guy, Trump lives in this guy's head free rent. He is one of the dumbest son of a bitches I ever had to watch on TV. If a Democrat does something, he'll deflect. If it's a Republican, he'll dig back 6 months and throw it in their face. You know, he's such a hypocrite. And I don't know why they put these, I hate to say this, because you're going to think I'm racist. But it seems like these colored guys and women are the stupidest sons of bitches there is. They get all over these TV shows and all they do is lie and gush. bullshit after bullshit for the Democrat Party. It's just astounding. Stupid bitch award goes to Kamala Harris today. She wants to disband Border Patrol and ICE. Can you believe that? Open borders. I guess she's okay with human trafficking, gun running, rape trees, and flooding the United States with illegals. Illegals can't vote, Camilla. Maybe that's why you don't like voter ID. Huh. Democrats hate voter ID. They absolutely hate it with all their guts. Because if you had voter ID, it wouldn't serve them any purpose for having illegals, because they couldn't vote anyway. So anyway, I guess that gives me the high. Oh, today we had an ad in the paper. They took out a full-page ad in our paper in Wyoming, and you know what it was? It says here where it is. It's to have my governor in Wyoming veto the stand your ground law, which means you break into my house, I'm going to shoot your ass. And they don't like that law. They don't like it at all. So they took out these full-page ads in Wyoming to try to pressure our governor, try to get us to pressure our governor into vetoing this bill. Not going to happen. You little crazy liberals back there in New York and Chicago, frankly, we don't give a fuck how you do it back there. But in Wyoming, we're gun people. We have open carry, and we're working on open carry reciprocation to where we can carry our guns in any state we go into. So, anyway, with that, one more thing I wanted to talk about too. I don't think we should be paid for abortion, and I think we need to cut the funding to Planned Parenthood. NRA doesn't get any funding from the United States or our tax-paying dollars, but Planned Parenthood sure does. And so do school teachers through grants, loans, and education funding. We ought to rethink that a little bit. I hope Betsy DeVos does that and cuts a little money going back to those guys. And of course, John McCain couldn't help but weigh in on hiring Pompeo for Secretary of State, and then hiring the gal for FBI director, first female director. What the fuck would this little traitor know? He was never waterboarded. He was never tortured. I don't think he lost 10 pounds while he was in captivity. In fact, his men called him, I don't know if you remember from watching Mass, Tokyo Rose. She spreads propaganda. Sorry, I'm smoking and I have cancer. How stupid, huh? But my doctor said, just quit one thing at a time, slow back at one thing at a time, and that's what I do. You know, I have myself about 10 cigarettes a day, and I used to be a 3-pack a day or so. I consider myself doing good. But anyway, back to John McCain, Songbird McCain. While he was over there, he got health care. He got a nice cushy room. He got good rations because his dad was a favorite of North Korea, or of Korea, or was it Vietnam or North Korea? Either way, his dad was highly prized by the country that he was captured by, and so he got some relatively special treatment while he was over there. So now he's against water torture. Fuck, he wouldn't know what it was if it happened to him. I don't know when his brain cancer is going to take over, but you know, I hate to be a bitch, but the sooner the guy's gone, the better. He hasn't done anything for the Republican Party for a long time, or the American people. Last but not least, I think I figured out who the Democrats are going to run. Her name is Tulsa Gabbard, and she's out of Hawaii. That's why you don't see her making any noise. She never talks. She never says anything. They're keeping her on the down low because they're going to run her in 2 years, maybe with Booker or something like that. They're going to have a black female and relatively without any scandal. Kamala Harris, she's dead in the water. She was a piss poor prosecutor and got tied up in shit in California that'll be exposed if she tries to run. Elizabeth Warren's too old. Bernie's too old. Biden might try, but hell, who's going to put a kiddie pile in? Kiddie. He touches women inappropriately. He touches children inappropriately. I just don't see him making it all the way through for the Democrats. But anyway, that's my take on politics today. We had some good stuff. We had some bad stuff, but mostly good today. It was a great day for Trump country, and it was a great day for America. I mean, we're working on trade. We're getting ready to meet with Kim Jong-un, and there's just no stopping. Every day gets better. So stay strong, America. Keep fighting the fight, and don't let Twitter censor you. Find other ways. Me, I fool them all the time by doing memes instead of typing my words, because somehow they're not catching on with the algorithm that they're censoring me. So learn how to make memes, and then you can say more too, and it goes further. So with that, God bless America, God bless our President Trump, and God bless Ben Carson. Buy that furniture, boy. I think he deserves it.